Welcome everyone, this is Viking, and today we're going to do a short distance traversal in the Gazelle. Currently hovering near some sort of isolated place. I'm not really sure what the deal is. There's like two houses and lots of parked cars, and then this building over here, which, I presume must be some kind of workplace, I guess. I don't know. In any event, we're basically going to be heading along a heading of about 070 to approach a launch point for our missiles, and on the way we're going to talk about how we get there. First thing I'm going to do is in the lower left, I'm going to make my red inputs match the white ones that the autopilot reflects. And I'm taking over flight. It's a very nimble aircraft. Now, if you don't need to go too quickly, you don't need to change your trim at all. The Gazelle will cruise pretty happily at about 130 clicks without any trim input, and usually the engine power is pretty low for that. Right now we're looking at about 55%. That's not much. Although our speed is only about 115. Now if I trim it forward a little bit, then I'm going to have to apply increased engine power. Because the forward trim is going to speed us up but also dip us. Now, if I've got my vertical velocity near zero, I can flip this switch up and get altitude hold. Altitude hold is kind of neat because it means that that my collective is actually behaving like an airplane's throttle. I can still steer and everything as I ordinarily do, and it'll try everything it can to keep my vertical velocity at zero. This is just barometric altitude hold. It does not do terrain following. And I can also overpower the autopilot, pull back on the cyclic a little bit. That PA light on the panel means that the autopilot is no longer working, and I have to, there we go, get it back into a reasonable range of vertical velocity in order to make it work again. Now, with altitude hold on, right now I'm at 70% engine power and a speed of approximately 150, climbing slowly actually, so this isn't a great demonstration, but if I put my throttle up to 95% or just shy of it, then you'll notice our speed increase rapidly. Keep an eye on the engine gauge here, because if you go over 95%, you get this blinking red light. You've got like a couple of seconds to reduce power before your engine just blows up. And if you go all the way into this red line, it can blow up immediately. So don't let that happen to you. I'm going to reduce engine power back to around 70. Kill the autopilot. And we'll just sort of coast towards our target here. We're going to be doing a little bit of recon. So I want to have a bit more altitude than I usually like to take in the Gazelle. The Gazelle is safest when it's lowest to the ground. It's scary flying sometimes because you got to avoid some obstacles and you're moving pretty quickly. But at least relative to those obstacles you are. But it sure beats getting shot out of the sky. Well, just plain old traversal just isn't that complicated in the Gazelle, so I'm going to call it for this one. But as long as you know how to use those autopilots and your trim system, you'll be fine. See you next time. Cheers.